loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Amy and this is my Reborn YouTube. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about my story behind Reborns, so my miscarriage and infertility struggle. So I'm actually very sorry about not posting. The thing is, I'm recording on my phone and editing on my phone, so it's kind of difficult to keep up with the storage space and stuff, but I'm trying to get a new phone until I manage to get a camera and maybe a MacBook. So yeah, let's get into the video. My story begins in December 2017 when I fell pregnant with my first baby. I was very excited to be a mum. I had this whole future plan. Me and my partner started planning our future. We were excited but scared at the same time because we didn't know, what to do really, or what to expect, because obviously we were first-time parents. Started to buy things for the baby. We started to look at, getting our own place, etc, etc. And then I'm gonna fast forward to February in 2018, which is when we lost our baby through miscarriage. Before I start talking about this, I'm going to put a trigger warning because I don't want anyone to get upset by my story, because I know it can trigger some people for their experiences. So if this is going to upset you, please don't watch it. I'd hate for anyone to get upset. We had a miscarriage in February 2018. A miscarriage isn't where you think, oh, you just have a bad bleed and that's it, it's over. It's really not like that at all. When I was having a miscarriage, I went into hospital and the doctors actually told me that there was nothing wrong with my baby. My baby was fine, my cervix looked fine, and then they admitted me to hospital because they wanted to keep an eye on me, and because they said, we're going to give you a scan in the morning, there's no point you going home like this early in the morning and then coming back. So they kept me in just to keep an eye on me and the baby. And then about 2 o'clock in the morning, the next basically the next day, I had a miscarriage. I went to the toilet and I just felt a load of stuff come out along with a load of blood. And at that time I didn't know that I just had a miscarriage. I just thought, oh, this is normal, because I never experienced anything like this before, and I didn't know what it was. Like, I just thought, oh, maybe I'm just passing tissue because the baby doesn't want it. I didn't know, I wasn't educated enough about miscarriage. I had no idea. And so I buzzed the buzzer for the nurses to come in, and I was crying, so obviously it's traumatic seeing stuff like that. And I didn't know what just happened. So the nurses came and cleaned me up, cleaned the toilet up. I got back in bed and I was actually rubbing my stomach saying, you're okay baby, you're okay baby, it's gonna be okay, mummy's here. And then the doctor actually admitted me to hospital, come in, and he said to me, I'm so sorry, you've just had a miscarriage. And all I remember doing was screaming and saying, can my partner come back please, because they sent him home, because obviously they didn't know this was going to happen. I don't know what they knew was going to happen. I don't know. I just screamed and cried and said, can my partner come back, I need him. And they said, yeah, of course, call your partner. And then I called my partner, and just the only thing I said to him was, we've lost the baby. And I started bursting into tears, and his reaction was to ask if I was okay. And he came back to the hospital. I cried. He came back to the hospital and he come in the room and he burst into tears. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to comfort him because I never experienced anything like this before, and neither has he, and I don't know. And then I had a scan, and I had a scan the next morning, and I was actually remaining hopeful. I was thinking maybe they got it wrong, maybe the baby's still in there, maybe she's okay. And I went to the scan and they said, so sorry, but it's confirmed miscarriage. Your baby is, your baby fell out of you. And I was like, okay. I don't even remember what I said. I honestly don't remember what I said. They took some more blood and stuff like that just to see if the pregnancy hormone was still in me, and it obviously was. And I remember a doctor come in and ask me what I wanted to do with like the baby and stuff. Did I want to take it home and have like a little funeral, or do I want to like just donate the tissue and stuff to science? Obviously my partner didn't want to put us through any more traumatic stuff, so he just said, you know, donate it to science. And at the end of the day, what funeral could you have with an 11.5-week-old baby? And yeah, we went home, like to my house, my mum's house when we lived at home, and everything from there just seems a blur. The only thing I remember is that day. I just keep flashing back to that day, and I had to go back to hospital countless times to have scans and blood tests just to see if there was, you know, any tissue left over, and there also was tissue left over, and I had to keep going back to make sure it wasn't like infecting me or anything like that. And when I kept going back to hospital, I had to sit in a room with people who were pregnant. It wasn't nice. I've just lost my baby and I'm sitting in a room with pregnant people. I had to take tablets to start contractions that would get the rest of the tissue out. So basically I had to give birth. We got the last tissue out a couple of weeks later, and that was the last of it. One last appointment, one last scan to see if the tissue was gone, and the tissue was gone. And yeah, that was technically the end of it. And we're gonna fast forward to 2019, a year after, when I got diagnosed with PCOS because I wasn't falling pregnant again, and I found it strange how I got pregnant that quickly the first time and now it's just not happening. And I was diagnosed with PCOS, and the doctor told me that you may or may not be able to have your own kids biologically or conceiving naturally. So that sent me into a wave of depression, because I started thinking we've just lost our only chance at conceiving naturally and having our own biological child, because IVF is expensive and there is adoption, but that's also expensive. And it just sent me into a wave of depression. I wasn't myself. I was pushing people away. I did things that I can't even remember now, because that wasn't me. That was not the person I am. You know, I did lose a lot of friends because I was just pushing them away and I wasn't responding to their messages, and I just wanted to be alone in my own little bubble, really. And you know, I wasn't doing anything in the apartment that my partner lived in. I was just leaving it all to him because I was in a depressive state and I just didn't feel like doing anything. All I felt like doing was sleeping and just sleeping off the days, and I just wanted it to be over. And you know, not many people understood what I was going through back then, and they just expected me to be over it so quickly. And you know, they tried to rush my grieving process, and they just didn't make it any easier for me. And it's people that I thought would have understood, but you know, they didn't. And they just didn't understand why, you know, I was so depressed and stuff like that. And I suppose that until you go through it yourself, you don't really understand. But yeah, it wasn't a very nice time. It wasn't nice at all going through that. And I look back now and I think I never want to go back in that place, that dark place where most of the days I felt like joining my daughter. We're gonna fast forward to 2020, when I come across Reborn dolls, and honestly, I'm so glad I did. I was still in my depressive state when I came across them, and I did my research into them. I researched, you know, what are they for? Are they for adults? Is it normal to have a reborn doll? Etc, etc. So I did my research and I come to the conclusion that I think these will really, really help me bring me back to the person I was. I spoke to my partner about it and he said, okay, well, if you think they're gonna help, then go for it. So I got my first reborn and I instantly became attached to that reborn, because it was, you know, I started nesting, I started buying all baby stuff, baby clothes, everything for what you would buy if you're preparing for a baby. And when the reborn came, I got so attached. I started doing everything you would for a real baby. I started making bottles, etc, etc. And I know that obviously that probably was not normal. At the end of the day, that helped me, because that was the only time with that reborn I ever did anything like that, because obviously it's fresh, it's new, it's a realistic baby doll, so you're obviously gonna get attached if you haven't experienced anything like that before and you've lost what you was going to experience. So I got attached, and that was the only time, like I said, that I got attached to a reborn. Once that passed, when I didn't need to do anything like that ever again, and I made a reborn Instagram where I was posting photos of my reborns, and then I made a TikTok account to post videos of my reborns, because I knew that I was halfway healed. I could feel it. I could feel myself coming back. I was so happy. I was full of life. I was the Amy that everybody knew before. And my partner even said that my wife is coming back, and that made me happy to know that these were helping like I thought they was. Now, because I'm healed, because they've helped me heal so much, and I'm back to who I was, and I'm so happy, and I'm more positive, even though some days I do get the ache for a real baby and it does get too much. I have them there with me to calm me down, to make me relax. I go out with the pram with them inside it for a walk, because it calms my mind. And I know many people don't understand that, but at the end of the day, if you haven't been through something, then you probably won't understand. And I know there is people out there that have said to me that I've had miscarriages, I've lost my baby, but I haven't gone for a doll. But that's you. That's not me. That's not other people. Everybody's coping mechanisms and the way they choose to move on is different. And if you don't understand that, you have no right to hate on that person and make them feel even more worse, because some hate comments have got to me. And I just think you shouldn't be talking to people like that when you don't know them, you don't know their story. And okay, you might find it weird, but you can keep that to yourself. You don't need to comment it on the video or on a picture. I'm back to myself now. I'm so happy. These reborns are literally a godsend. So if anyone is thinking about getting a reborn to help through their grieving process or anything like that, then go for it. It is normal. I've spoken to a therapist and they've told me that it's normal what you're doing. You know, if you can see an improvement in yourself, then keep going for it. And I can see an improvement in myself. If I was a psycho and if I was mental, I still would be in this fantasy world that these babies were real. And I know they're not real. The videos I make on TikTok are for entertainment purposes only, and people love videos like that. You can see by the amount of followers and the amount of likes I have. I'm not boasting, but 310,000 followers and 5.2 million likes. If I was mental and a psycho, people wouldn't follow me or like my stuff. But because I'm not, people know that I'm not. And they can see that I'm not, because these videos are just for entertainment purposes. All I do on TikTok, not that I have to explain myself, is I record my videos for the week, I put them in my drafts, and then I don't touch the babies for like a week and a half. They just sit there in their cots and their bouncers. There'll be a few occasions where I'd pick them up and I would cuddle them, but it won't be extensive like, oh, give them a bottle, you know, do this, do that. It won't be like that, because some of that stuff I do is for entertainment purposes on TikTok and also now for YouTube. So yeah, they do help. I would really suggest getting a reborn if anyone's struggling to cope with their baby loss or anything like that. Even mental health, they are literally a godsend, and I recommend them 100%. Thank you all for listening to my story. Obviously I am still going through my infertility struggles and coping with my daughter's loss, but the reborns, they help a lot. They make it a little easier to deal with, and hopefully one day me and my partner will finally get our rainbow baby and I won't need the reborns anymore. Not that I'm going to sell them when I do have a baby, because I'm not going to sell something that helped me through my darkest days, because I want them to be a symbol of my healing, and I want to pass that on to my future kids, and I want to tell them this is what made mummy heal before we had you. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you all. I'm so sorry for not posting. Like I said, it's the phone problem, but I'm going to post a little bit more. I just need to keep in touch with the storage on my phone so it doesn't fill up or anything. Please click the bell to get notifications for me when I post new videos. It would mean the world to me if you could go on TikTok and share the TikTok video that I posted to announce this upload. So yeah, I love you guys. Bye.